The snow fell thick that Christmas Eve. December 24, the somewhere in the mountains where borders blur and official maps lie. The kind of place where carols don't reach, where the only bells are brass casings hitting frozen ground. 2,147 hours. 3 minutes behind schedule. Static crackled through his earpiece, the satellite link struggling against the storm. Bravo 2 status. Nathan's breath formed white clouds. Negative contact. Ridge is clear. Marcus Webb, point man 20 meters ahead. Copy. Hold position. 8 seals moved through the valley like shadows, white winter gear blending with landscape. Standard high-value target retrieval. 40 minutes max. They'd done this dozens of times. But tonight felt different. Maybe it was the silence. Too much silence for hostile territory. Or maybe it was the addition nobody had briefed him about. She walked near formation's rear. Civilian clothing under white parka. No visible weapons. No tactical vest. Some contractor with clearance Nathan didn't have time to verify. He'd seen her board the transport at 1800 hours. Average height. Face obscured under scarf and hood. She carried a long duffel wrapped in white canvas. Didn't speak during the entire flight. Staff Sergeant Jake Holloway had nudged Nathan during pre-op. "Sir, who's the civvy?" "Above our pay grade. Focus on the mission." "She's not even armed." Now 3 hours and Nathan watched her move through snow with unsettling efficiency. No stumbling. No heavy breathing. She read terrain like someone who'd walked it before. The wind shifted. Nathan raised his fist. The team froze. Through night vision, he scanned the ridge ahead. Their planned route ran through a narrow valley rock, faces rising 50 meters on both sides. The exit corridor. The HAVT compound set 2 clicks beyond. Ghost 6, this is Bravo 1. Approaching checkpoint Alpha. Request final clearance. Static. Then more static. Nothing but white noise and falling snow. "Comms are down," Nathan muttered. "Wilson, get me a satellite bounce." "Trying, sir." "Something's jamming us hard." Behind them, the woman stopped. She tilted her head, listening to something none of them could hear, then looked up at the ridgeline. Nathan followed her gaze. Nothing but darkness and snow. When he looked back, she was moving not forward toward the valley, but laterally toward rocks. "Ma'am, wrong direction." She turned just enough for him to see her eyes. Even in darkness, he caught something. Not fear. Not confusion. Warning. The first shot cracked through night. Sharp. Precise. Sound of professional work. Marcus Webb dropped to one knee, his helmet ringing where the bullet struck and deflected upward. Not a kill shot. A marking shot. The kind that says, "I could have killed you, but I'm choosing not to." Yet. Contact. Nathan's training took over muscle memory, overriding shock. Spread formation, find cover. The second shot hit snow 2 inches from Holloway's boot, kicking up white powder that settled on his pants. Then third, fourth, fifth. Each one precisely placed, each one a message. Not random. Not panicked spray and pray from untrained fighters. Each bullet landed close enough to pin the seals down, but not close enough to kill. Not yet. This was deliberate. This was control. Nathan's mind raced through tactical options, calculating angles and distances, even as his body moved to cover. 8 shooters. Maybe more. They'd walked straight into a kill zone, a perfectly designed trap with overlapping fields of fire that had taken days to set up. The valley they'd almost entered would have been a slaughterhouse, no cover, no escape routes, nothing but death. "They're hurting us," Marcus yelled over the gunfire. "Trying to push us into the valley." Nathan knew he was right. The enemy wanted them to run forward into that narrow corridor where they'd be completely exposed, where every shooter on the ridge would have clear lines of fire, where the team would be cut down in seconds. "Hold position," Nathan ordered. "Do not advance. Find what cover you can and stay put." Nathan pressed against a boulder. His team was caught in the open with minimal cover. Whoever set this up knew exactly what they were doing. Professional snipers. Multiple positions. High ground advantage. This wasn't random ambush. This was execution setup. Through chaos, Nathan saw the woman. She hadn't run. Hadn't panicked. She was kneeling in snow, 20 meters away, calmly unwrapping white canvas from her duffel. The canvas fell away. Custom build. Long-range precision. Even in darkness, Nathan could see the weapon's quality. No unit markings. No visible serial numbers. The kind that didn't appear in any armory inventory. She assembled pieces with mechanical efficiency. Bipod. Scope. Magazine. Each movement exactly as needed, no fumbling, no hesitation. 15 seconds from wrapped to ready. Holloway's voice crackled. "Sir, is she?" "Hold fire. Let her work." Nathan didn't know why he said it. Instinct. Or maybe the way she moved. Like water flowing downhill. Inevitable. Natural. She didn't look at the SEAL team. Didn't ask for orders. Simply settled into prone position, rifle stock against shoulder, and became absolutely still. Another bullet struck near Nathan. The enemy snipers were adjusting, getting range. In another minute, kill shots would start. The woman's finger moved to trigger, and Nathan realized he'd never gotten her name. The kill zone was textbook perfect. Whoever planned this had studied SEAL tactics. Nathan's mind mapped it even as his body stayed pressed against cover. 8 shooters, maybe 9 in nested formation across ridge. Elevation advantage. Overlapping fields of fire. Clear sight lines into the valley. "Marcus, can you get a vector?" Negative. They're dug in deep. High-grade concealment. They were good. Professional military. Shot placement proved it, warning shots to force movement, not wild spray. They wanted the SEALs alive long enough to push them into the kill box. Danny Torres was pinned behind a fallen log. "Sir, we need to move, or we're dead." They're walking fire closer. He was right. Each shot landed inches nearer. Psychological warfare. The enemy snipers were demonstrating complete control before they started executing. Nathan's options evaporated. Advance suicide. Retreat 30 meters of open ground, they'd be cut down. Call for support communications dead, and nearest quick reaction force 40 minutes out. They had maybe 5 minutes before the enemy stopped playing and started killing. That's when the woman fired her first shot. No warning. No announcement. Just the sharp crack of precision rifle cutting through night. The report echoed off the ridgeline. 1 second of silence. The world seemed to hold its breath. Then, from the ridge 300 meters northeast, a sound like a sack of grain hitting stone. Heavy. Final. Unmistakable. Enemy fire stuttered. The rhythm broke. Confusion rippled through their coordinated attack. She worked the bolt. Smooth. Mechanical. The empty casing ejected, spinning through falling snow, glinting briefly in moonlight, before disappearing into white powder below. Somewhere in the darkness, a piece of brass marked the spot where a legend was being born. Nathan risked a glance at her. She hadn't moved from prone position. The rifle remained steady as stone barrel, making minute adjustments that most people wouldn't even notice. Her breathing was controlled, measured, each exhale timed perfectly. Frost formed on her scarf with each breath. She was in complete control. While his team was pinned down, hearts racing, adrenaline flooding their systems, she was calm. Eerily, impossibly calm. "Who the hell is she?" Marcus whispered over comm, his voice carrying equal parts disbelief and something approaching reverence. Nathan had no answer. But he was starting to understand that whoever this woman was, she was operating on a level none of them had ever witnessed before. The second shot came 30 seconds later, the timing precise. Different direction, northwest ridge, 280 meters. Same result. The sound of something falling. Another enemy sniper eliminated with surgical precision. Enemy fire changed. No longer methodical. Now bursts panicked, searching for the new threat they hadn't accounted for. She was hunting them. One by one. And they knew it. Nathan started understanding the geometry. Enemy snipers had positioned in classic flower formation, 8 positions radiating from central command each, with overlapping coverage. Impossible to assault from below. Nearly impossible to counter-snipe. Nearly impossible. Unless you could locate each position in darkness through falling snow while under fire and eliminate them faster than they could adjust. The woman fired again. East Ridge. Low position behind rock cluster. Nathan heard the impact. Enemy fire discipline was breaking down. They were shooting at her general location, trying to suppress, but she'd chosen her position perfectly, slight depression, giving her cover while maintaining sightlines to all 8 enemy positions. She'd read terrain in seconds and known exactly where to set up. How is she tracking them? Holloway's voice held something rare from the veteran operator awe. Nathan watched her work. No spotter. No thermal scope he could see. Just rifle eyes and something else. Something they couldn't quantify. Experience. Decades compressed into pure instinct. 4th shot. South Ridge. High position near dead tree. Enemy fire was sporadic now. Fear had entered the equation. They were trying to relocate, abandoning perfect positions, which meant breaking concealment. Fatal mistake. 5th shot. Southwest. A sniper who'd moved too quickly. Nathan's brain calculated angles, distances, wind speed, falling snow, obscuring vision. What she was doing shouldn't be possible. Not in these conditions. Not without support. The 6th shot came faster. She was accelerating. No longer waiting for perfect setups. She knew where they'd run, had predicted their panic. 7th shot rang out before 6th's echo faded. 2 left. Nathan counted. The flower formation was collapsing. The enemy knew it. Automatic fire burst through trees near her position. Someone had broken discipline, completely switching to backup weapon. She didn't flinch. Rifle tracked smoothly across ridgeline, searching. 8th shot. Sound was different. Longer range. She'd found the command position, the one directing others. Silence fell across valley. Real silence. No more incoming fire. No more movement on ridge. just whisper of snow and distant tinny sound of radio somewhere in darkness. Nathan caught fragments. Silent night. A Christmas broadcast from some faraway base signal reaching them here in this pocket of frozen hell. The woman worked bolt one final time, ejecting last casing. She cleared the rifle safe, then lifted her head, scanning ridge with naked eyes. Nathan realized he'd been holding his breath. 15 minutes. That's all it had taken. 15 minutes to dismantle professionally executed ambush by herself? His hands were shaking. Not from cold. From adrenaline of understanding how close they'd come to dying and how impossibly they'd just been saved. Status check, he managed. Sound off. One by one, his team reported. All alive. Minor injuries. Marcus had taken shrapnel from a near miss. Wilson twisted an ankle diving for cover. But alive. All alive. Because of her. Nathan pushed up from behind Boulder. His legs felt disconnected, aftermath of combat stress flooding his system. The SEAL team emerged from cover, weapons raised, eyes scanning. The woman was breaking down her rifle. Same economical movements. Each piece separated and returned to duffel with practiced care. Nathan walked toward her. His boots crunched through fresh snow. She didn't look up. Ma'am? His voice came out rough. He cleared his throat. Ma'am, I need to know who you are. She secured the bipod. Your mission timeline is compromised. You need to extract the HEVT within 30 minutes or the window closes. That's not an answer. She knew his rank. Hadn't been briefed on it as far as he knew, but she knew it. Marcus approached, rifle lowered, but body language wary. Those were professional kills. Military-trained shooters. You tracked 8 positions in darkness and eliminated them with 8 shots. 9. She pointed up ridge further north. There was a spotter coordinating their fire. I took him first. 9. Nathan recalculated. 9 shots, 9 kills. No misses. No wasted rounds. No. What's your name? She zipped the duffel. Gray-blue. Cold as the snow, but not unkind. Just distant, like she was looking at him from the far side of a canyon. You can call me Claire. Claire what? Just Claire. Holloway had joined them. Just Claire. Who does a thing like that and doesn't have a full name? Someone who's not supposed to exist, Danny said quietly. Claire stood slinging duffel over shoulder like it weighed nothing. The enemy had intelligence on your route. Someone leaked your mission parameters. Nathan felt ice in his stomach. You knew. Before we walked into it. I suspected. And you didn't say anything. I had no proof. Just instinct. She looked past him toward Valley. Now you have a choice. Abort and request extraction, which puts the HVT at risk and leaves questions. Or adapt the plan and complete your objective. After what just happened, do you think we should continue? Marcus's tone was incredulous. The enemy committed their best assets to this ambush. Their backup positions won't be as strong. You have a brief window where they'll be confused, reorganizing. That's your advantage. Nathan's training warred with shock. She was right, tactically, coldly right. The enemy had blown their best shot, but pushing forward after nearly dying seemed insane. Except she'd just saved them, against impossible odds, using skills that suggested she knew exactly what she was talking about. "Who are you?" he asked again, softer, not demanding, asking. Claire adjusted her scarf. "I'm someone who owes a debt, and tonight I'm paying some of it back." "To who?" "To the people who didn't make it home for Christmas." Something in her voice made Nathan stop pushing. A weight. A grief so old it had calcified into something else. Not pain anymore. Just purpose. Wilson spoke up. "Miss Claire, ma'am, that was the most incredible shooting I've ever seen." "Where'd you train?" "Everywhere that mattered." She turned to Nathan. "You have 28 minutes, Lieutenant Commander. I suggest we move." The way she said it wasn't a suggestion. Nathan looked at his team. Holloway checking weapon ready. Marcus studying Claire like she was a puzzle. Danny with that medic's look of concern. But they were alive, and the mission was still viable. "All right." Nathan made the call. "We adapt. New route through western approach. Comms still down, so we operate dark. Stay sharp if there's a leak. We assume they know we're coming." "Sir." Marcus pulled him aside, voice low. "We're trusting her, just like that. She just saved our lives." "We don't know anything about her." "I know she can shoot. And I know those enemy snipers were good enough to kill all of us." "That's enough for now." Marcus nodded slowly. Not happy, but accepting. The team formed up, new formation, adjusted spacing. Claire moved to rear again, but this time nobody questioned it. Nobody suggested she was just a civilian observer. As they pushed toward the HVT compound, Nathan caught fragments of conversation. 8 shots. Never seen anything like. Who is she? The same question over and over. Who is she? Nathan suspected he'd never get a complete answer. But watching her move, through darkness that duffel carried with such care, he understood something else. She was a ghost. Someone whose real name had been erased from official records. Someone who'd done things that couldn't be acknowledged and paid prices that couldn't be measured. Someone who'd been one of them once. And perhaps was for tonight at least one of them again. The snow continued to fall. And Silent Night continued to play faint and distant on that lost radio signal. The western approach was cleaner than expected. Claire had been right, the enemy had committed everything to initial ambush. Backup security was thin, poorly coordinated. The SEALs moved through outer perimeter like water through paper. But Nathan couldn't stop thinking about those 15 minutes. 15 minutes that felt like hours. 15 minutes during which a woman whose name wasn't really Claire had systematically dismantled a professional kill team. The way she'd moved between shots kept replaying. No rush. No hesitation. Just calm, methodical process of identifying target, calculating solution, and executing it. Over and over. He'd seen combat snipers before. Worked with some of the best in the world. But this was different. This was something beyond technical skill. This was art. The HVT compound appeared through trees. Small structure, 2 guards visible on patrol. Radio tower on roof. Exactly as briefed. Nathan signaled halt. The team took position in loose perimeter. Claire settled into shadow near a large pine duffel at her feet. She wasn't assembling the rifle. Just watching. Bravo 2, you're clear for approach, Nathan whispered. Marcus and Holloway moved forward, silent as smoke. The takedown was textbook. 2 guards neutralized without alarm. Wilson hot-wired the door lock while Danny covered approach. 60 seconds later, target secured. 1 civilian unharmed. The HVT, a defector carrying intelligence on enemy positions, stumbled out between Marcus and Holloway. Middle-aged man, terrified but mobile. He'd been expecting extraction, but not like this. Nathan checked time. 13 minutes to alternate extraction point. Tight, but manageable. Then the radio on the compound's dead guard crackled. A voice in accented English Delta positions reports status. Delta 1, do you copy? Silence. Then Delta 2 respond. More silence. The voice grew sharp. All Delta positions, immediate response required. The Delta positions. The sniper teams Claire had eliminated. Someone was realizing they'd gone dark. Move. Nathan's order was sharp. We're burned. Fast rope extraction, go, go, go. The team moved, but as they cleared compound, Claire touched Nathan's arm. Wait. We don't have time. Listen. He stopped, strained his ears. At first, nothing but wind and snow. Then he caught it. Engine noise. Multiple vehicles, coming from East Road. Quick reaction force, Claire said calmly. They'll cut off your extraction point in 4 minutes. You can't know that. Yes, I can. She was already moving, not back toward extraction, but laterally toward higher ground. Change of plans. Take your team north to secondary rally point. I'll slow them down. Absolutely not. You're coming with us. She looked at him then, and for the first time, something like a smile crossed her face. Not warmth. More like recognition of an old familiar joke. Lieutenant Commander, do you know what the best part of not existing is? What? I can do things that officially never happen. She was moving before he could respond, scaling slope with duffel across back. Fast. Efficient. Marcus grabbed Nathan's shoulder. Sir, we need to move. Now. He was right. The mission came first. The HVT came first, but letting her go, letting her face that QRF alone. She saved us, Nathan said, and will return the favor by not wasting it. She knows what she's doing. Move out. Nathan made the call. North route. Fast and quiet. The HVT kept pace, fear giving him speed. Behind them, engine noise grew louder. Then, from the ridge, Claire had disappeared till the first shot rang out. 3 vehicles. Technical trucks with mounted weapons. Approximately 15 combatants. Moving at 60 kilometers per hour on mountain road with ice. She didn't feel cold anymore. Didn't feel rifles' weight. Didn't feel much except familiar hollow certainty that had kept her alive through a dozen wars in places that didn't exist on maps. First shot, lead vehicle's driver. Not a kill shot through shoulder. Enough to make him jerk wheel. The truck slewed sideways on ice-blocking road. The convoy stopped. Perfect. Stationary targets. Second shot gunner on middle truck. Center mass. He dropped behind weapon mount. Chaos now. They knew they were under fire but couldn't pinpoint her location. Muzzle flash hidden by outcropping. Falling snow scattered sound. Third shot another driver. Through Dr. Panel into leg. The truck lurched forward, crashed into disabled lead vehicle. 4, 5, 6, 3 more gunners. Each one thought they were safe behind mounted weapons. Each one was wrong. The enemy was abandoning vehicles, taking cover, trying to organize response. But they didn't know where to shoot. Her position was too good. Seventh shot the officer trying to organize defense. She could tell by body language, way others looked to him. Through scope, she saw his head snap back. She paused. Worked bolt. Brass casing ejected, spinning through night. It landed in snow beside 7 others' metal, still warm enough to melt tiny craters. The 8th shot was hardest. Not technically range, was clear target exposed. But it was a young soldier, maybe 20, who'd taken cover behind engine block and was shaking so hard she could see it through scope. He looked like someone's son, someone's brother. He looked like Daniel had looked that last Christmas before the ambush that ended everything. Claire's finger rested on trigger. Crosshairs centered on young soldier's position. One squeeze. One more enemy neutralized. But the convoy was broken. Vehicles disabled. Organized pursuit shattered. The SEALs had time they needed. She lifted the rifle. Let him live. Some debts could never be fully repaid. But she didn't have to take everything. Claire broke down rifle for second time that night. As she worked, she heard helicopters in distance. The SEAL extraction right on schedule. They'd made it. She allowed herself one moment of satisfaction, then stood shouldered duffel and started walking. Not toward extraction point. They wouldn't be looking for her anyway. Her name, her real name, the one she hadn't spoken in 8 years, wasn't on any manifest. As far as official records showed, she'd never been here. Just like she hadn't been in Syria, or Yemen, or any of the other places where someone needed to die and couldn't be killed by anyone who officially existed. The snow covered her tracks as she walked. The extraction helicopter's rotors beat against night sky. Nathan watched mountains fade below, team secured in webbing HVT, wrapped in thermal blanket between Marcus and Danny. Mission success. 0 casualties. The kind of outcome that earned commendations. But Nathan's mind wasn't on the after-action report. It was on the figure he'd last seen climbing toward Ridge. The ghost who'd saved them all. Sir. Wilson's voice cut through helicopter noise. Did she make it out? Nathan had been asking himself the same question. Last contact had been those distant shots, 8 distinct cracks of precision rifle, each perfectly placed. Then silence. I don't know. Should we go back for her? She's not on the manifest. Marcus said it flat factual. As far as command knows, she was never there. That's bullshit, Holloway snapped. She saved our lives. All of us. I know. Nathan kept voice level. And when we debrief, we'll report what happened. Will we? Marcus looked at him. Or will we get told certain details are classified and we shouldn't ask questions about assets that don't officially exist? Nathan had no answer because Marcus was probably right. The operation already had that feel: compartmentalization, need-to-know restrictions, mysterious contractor with no full name and skills suggesting black budget operations. Claire. If that was even her real name. Danny leaned forward. She said she owed a debt. To people who didn't make it home for Christmas. What do you think she meant? A team, Nathan said quietly. She lost a team. Probably people she was responsible for. This is how she copes. By saving other teams. By making sure the people who should go home actually do. They flew in silence. Below, mountains gave way to valleys to foothills. Somewhere down there, a woman with rifle was walking alone through snow. Wilson broke quiet. She counted 8 shots. I only heard 7. Marcus shook head. 8. Definitely 8. 9, Nathan corrected. She said 9, including spotter at initial ambush. Either way, Holloway said that's 9 lives she took to save 8 of ours. Math's wrong. Marcus was checking weapon, not looking at them. She didn't take them. She just collected what was owed. It was a cold way to look at it, but accurate. The pilot's voice came through Nathan's headset. Ghost 6. This is Falcon 2. We have you. Visual. TA to base, 7 minutes. Copy that? 7 minutes until debriefing. 7 minutes until questions he wouldn't be able to answer and reports that would probably be redacted. Nathan looked at his team. Everyone alive because of a woman whose name they didn't know. Everyone aware they'd witnessed something extraordinary and would probably never be able to talk about it. Listen up, Nathan said. When we land, we tell the truth. All of it. Terrain analyst named Claire. Demonstrated exceptional combat skills. Eliminated hostile forces that had us pinned. Broke off to provide cover for our extraction. Unknown current status. They'll classify it, Marcus warned. Let them. But we put it on record. She doesn't get erased from this. Not by us. Holloway nodded. Wilson, too. Danny gave tight smile. One more thing, Nathan added. If any of you see her again, anywhere, anytime you buy her a drink and say thank you. Clear? Clear, sir. The helicopter descended, lights and warmth and safety. All the things soldiers dream about. All the things someone like Claire probably stopped dreaming about long ago. As they touched down, Nathan caught himself looking back toward mountains. Just darkness and snow. No sign of her. But somewhere out there, a ghost was walking. And maybe for tonight at least, she'd found small measure of peace in the debt she'd repaid. Back at base, the debriefing was brief. Too brief. Intelligence officer asked standard questions, took notes, then closed laptop with finality that felt wrong. Lieutenant Commander, your report will be classified. The civilian contractor you mentioned, we have no record of such an individual on your manifest. Nathan started to object, but the officer raised a hand. What I'm telling you is that officially she doesn't exist. Your team performed exceptionally under fire. That's the story. Do you understand? He understood. Claire, whoever she really was, had been deliberately erased. That night, Marcus found Nathan in barracks. He held something small. A brass casing. Found 9 of these where she set up. She didn't police her brass. Marcus turned it so Nathan could see tiny scratches on base. Look. 2 letters. DK. Death's kiss, Nathan said quietly. He'd heard the rumor. Most operators had. Female sniper with a legend so dark it had to be myth. Highest body count in War on Terror. Lost her entire team on Christmas Eve years ago. Disappeared into black operations so classified her real identity was erased. She's real, Marcus said. And she's been saving teams every Christmas Eve since she lost hers. Nathan took the casing, held it like the precious thing it was. Proof that someone had been there. Someone who'd paid a debt that could never truly be repaid. We remember, Nathan said. That's what we can do. Remember her. Marcus nodded. Outside, snow fell on Christmas morning. Years passed. Nathan made commander. Desk job in Virginia. Every Christmas Eve he volunteered for duty. Let younger ones go home. The call came 5 years later. December 24. Classified line. Commander Cross, this is regarding Operation Iron Star. Certain records have been declassified. You'll receive a courier within hour. The file arrived. 20 pages. Dossier on Sarah Catherine Morrison. Born 1982. Sniper. Over 300 confirmed kills. 12 years continuous combat deployment. Her team. 11 people. December 24, 2013. Ambush in Afghanistan. All killed except one. Sarah Morrison. Call sign Death's Kiss. Reports detailed her survival. She'd been on Overwatch Watch Team Die, killed 14 enemy combatants in revenge, then walked out of mountains alone. After she'd made a proposal, let her continue operating as Ghost. No official designation. No team. She'd provide precision support but never be acknowledged. For 12 years, she'd saved teams, taken impossible shots, then disappeared. File didn't say where she was now. Just noted her exceptional service would never be publicly recognized. Last page held photograph. Sarah Morrison, in dress uniform. Same gray-blue eyes. Same distance in gaze. Handwritten across bottom, she made it home this time. Past tense. Final. Nathan locked file with brass casing. Then stood at window watching snow fall. "Thank you, Sarah," he said to empty office. "Thank you for bringing us home." Snow continued. Christmas bells rang in distance. Sometimes greatest heroes are ones whose names we never learn, whose sacrifices go unrecorded, who operate in darkness so others can live in light. Sarah Catherine Morrison. Death's Kiss. Claire. She'd made it home at last. The memorial at Arlington doesn't bear her name. Section 60, marker 477. Only rank and service dates. No call sign carved into stone. No mention of kills or operations. Just numbers. Dates. The minimum required for a soldier's grave. But every Christmas Eve, someone leaves white coin on that stone. Blank except for 2 letters D. Kai. Sometimes other things appear. A small wreath. A single rose. Once a photograph of 8 men in combat gear. And sometimes, if you're there at the right time on December 24, you might see 8 veterans at attention. Middle-aged now, gray in their hairlines around their eyes. They wear civilian clothes. To observers, they're ordinary people paying respects. But watch how they stand. How they hold themselves. The recognition in their eyes when they look at each other. They won't tell you why they're there or who they're honoring. Because that Christmas, they didn't learn her name. They only learned what a legend looks like.